that's why we are here, to call attention, to put the public spotlight on an issue that is no more and no less than simple racism, and in this day and age, that has to stop.
I failed to preface my remarks by first stating that this is not an indictment on the Tribeca area. In fact, many of the residents in Tribeca and throughout Manhattan, of all ethnic backgrounds, are patrons of Sassar. So this is not condemning Tribeca. This isn't Tribeca, and this is just an idea, just an example of how an advisory group. So all they're supposed to do is give advice to the SLA. They were established under the New York City Charter. All they're supposed to do is give advice and not tell people, if you don't go ahead and take our restrictions, you can't open up. They overstep their boundaries. And what's happening is the New York State Liquor Authority is rubber stamping all these recommendations that come. Rather than stop and look and say, wait a minute, this particular restaurant or this particular ethnic background is opening up in this area, and everybody else is getting to stay open later and play music the way they want to. How come this restaurant isn't? And at least make an inquiry and find out why is there disparate treatment on a Puerto Rican restaurant. So I just wanted to emphasize the fact that we're not condemning this neighborhood at all. In fact, this is a great neighborhood, and we respect the right. If they have concerns, to be able to address it with Mr. Morales. He gave his cell phone number out at a board meeting. If people have problems, if people call, but rather than call him, and it's a few, they consistently call the restaurant anonymously. They call the police department. There is a woman that lives across the street and takes out her camera and photographs if he doesn't close his windows by 7 o'clock at night. And these are concessions that Mr. Morales, he didn't have to. These are concessions that he made so that he could be a good neighbor in the neighborhood. And this is the type of treatment that he gets. So, at this time, I'll give you Mr. Morales, maybe say a couple of words.
Hello. It's amazing that this discrimination still exists in this time and age. You know, I did meet with the community on several occasions. I did everything I possibly could. I did soundproof my restaurant inside, upper level, the lower level. I put a second set of doors so that no sound at all would illuminate. I did everything I possibly could. I've hired security to make sure that patrons do keep the noise level down. I have signs that state, please be courteous to our neighbors, do not double park your cars, and still to no avail, the community is not content. And to have a member come by the restaurant and say to me that these people, who are these people? They don't live in this community. And for me to say, well, this is my clientele, these are the people who I cater to, and then to state that you should consider changing your clientele is appalling. That it still exists in this day and age.
Mr. Morales, you do own another restaurant, Sofrito. Do you have the same problem with the community board there?
No, I own Sofrito on 57th Street. The restaurant's been open for 5 years on Sutton Street, one of the the wealthiest neighborhoods in New York City, and I've never had any issues with the community or the community board down on 57th Street. So to come here after 2 years and have nothing but heartache for the 2 years that we've been open, it's amazing that discrimination still exists.
What are some of the people say?
Well, they come by. We had a neighbor that used to live next door. He moved, and he would say, "Listen, maybe you should put a sombrero and a rat on." Telling us, my manager, you should get a rat with a sombrero on it. Let's keep the Spanish people off the side. He's no longer there. He moved, obviously, for whatever reasons. But these are the comments that were given to us, and still to this day, there are people in the community that call up and say, "Can you please have your the sidewalk cleared?" And we called, "Ma'am, the restaurant's closed. There is nobody on the sidewalk," and they never hang up. They were just calling just to basically harass for whatever reasons, which made us put cameras now in front of the restaurant so that we can back up what we say when it comes to having no customers in front of the restaurant.
Did you say that a member of the community board came by?
Yes.
Can you detail that for us?
Yes. Member Jeff Ehrlich came by last summer. He happened to be walking by, and I was in the restaurant, in front of the restaurant, and he came by and he stated, these people don't live in the community. Where are they from? And that's when I said, these are the people these are my clientele. These are the people I cater to. And he goes, well, you should consider catering to other people. Possibly changing the menu as we walked up. I brushed it off because at the time I didn't think anything of it. I'm going through enough problems with the community before I don't want anything else. But But now this last time when we met in April, for them to blatantly just disregard, you know, the attempt that we were going to try to add a second bar downstairs and not even give me due process and to meet up with them. They just denied it, doing an emergency vote and denying it 37-1. So that just proved that, you know, they don't want us.
I had been at some of these meetings with the community board, and their argument was that you were not abiding by your original liquor license, which said that you weren't allowed to have dancing on the lower level, and you weren't having dancing. They said that until you abide by your original liquor license, you're not allowed to have anything else. I wanted to respond to that.
But for the fact the community board one put a restriction on Sasson before they even opened their doors, before a note of music was played in the premises, they were restricted.
Right.
Okay? So, but for that fact, there wouldn't be an issue of whether live music was being played or a DJ was played.
But you're acknowledging that they violated the terms of their original liquor license?
No, I'm not acknowledging that it violated. I'm saying to you, it shouldn't have been existed. Therefore, there is no violation.
Let me just clear one thing up. From day one, everything that was done by this community board was racially motivated. The fact that they have to shut down before everyone else was racially motivated. The fact that they took them over a year to get a liquor license, when their neighbors are getting their liquor licenses within a few months, basically confirms that they're operating under racism. The fact that all these complaints, unfounded complaints, are lodged against them, the fact, the remarks that Jeff Ehrlich made to Mr. Morales about where are these people coming from, maybe you should change your clientele, is all based on racism. Now, this is an advisory board. When everything that comes out of this advisory board is motivated by race, everything that was done from day one to yesterday and today has to be undone because it was motivated by an unconstitutional act. Racism is unconstitutional in this country, and we're not going to stand for it, and we're going to bring community board number one to their knees if we have to, and all those elected officials who support those racists, we will bring them to their knees. Everything that was advised from day one to today was racially motivated, and that's been clear by the comments that were made by these people. It's been clear on how they treated Sasson and its Puerto Rican owner, my good friend Genaro Morales, and we're going to bring this to court. We'll let a jury decide.